Hey guys, coming back to you with another video on prepping for Baja. You already saw the thumbnail. This one's not about motorcycles. You got to think about the fact if you're going to go down to race the 1,000 or spend any real time in Mexico, you need to make sure your vehicle that you're taking in there is in good shape. And there's a few things I want to show you that we did to the van. So join me as we walk out here and take a look at the 2020 Transit van and what we did to get ready for Mexico. One of the very first things we did was brand new tires, because the roads in Baja are not that great. Let's be honest. They're pretty crappy. They are paved and then they go not paved just out of nowhere. Like you'd be driving down the road and then all of a sudden the pavement's washed out from a hurricane or whatever, and they don't fix it right away, or maybe they never fix it. So good tires is huge. I have to give a massive shout out to Ron at Ron's Auto here in Montrose. He gave me a smoking deal on some tires to help me out with the race. So thank you very much, Ron. Guys, we take all of our vehicles there, my wife and I and my kid, if we need to have anything done that we can't do. And I don't do tires because I just don't do tires. Another really important thing, guys, if you're like me, you live in the United States and you like to protect yourself, you might have one of those sitting here, right? So if you have one of those, it's gotta go. This thing cannot be in the truck. Neither can there be any ammunition at all. I have been going through this thing with a fine-tooth comb and getting all the ammo out of it because my kids and I hunt out of this thing. We drive out to the adobes to shoot doves, prairie dogs, whatever we can shoot. And so we have 22 rounds, 223 rounds, 5.56 rounds, shotgun shells, all that stuff. We collect it all because we don't leave it out there in the weeds. So we collect it all the brass, all the shotgun shells, everything. And so they end up in here and they end up rolling around in different places. And I have a funny story. It's funny now because it's over. In 2007, when I was in Mexico for the 1,000, my friend and I went in his truck with a trailer. He was chasing for me. And he had just moved houses from Colorado actually to Arizona. And when he did that, he moved it all himself. No moving truck or anything like that. Well, he has a lot of firearms and a lot of ammunition. And he cleaned his truck super well, except for one 22 cartridge. And that freaking 22 cartridge got found at a military check in just outside of Guerrero. No, actually, excuse me, just outside of San Ignacio. And they found seriously, one 22 round. And they absolutely freaked out. I thought we were going to go to prison. They were threatening to take us to prison. Asking me where the gun was, all in Spanish. I'm explaining in not that great of Spanish. We don't have a gun. It was a mistake. We didn't have it, whatever. After, it must have been an hour, we were able to talk our way out of it and get out of there. So if you guys are, like I said, like me, big fans of the Second Amendment, that does not apply in Mexico. And, it's fair. And if you don't like that, then don't go to Mexico, right? I get it. It's not cool. I wish it did, but that's their country. They don't have a Second Amendment. We do. So make sure you take your firearms out. Then obviously things like oil change, normal stuff like that, right? Like normal stuff, nothing big. Let me show you. You guys, if you haven't seen the back of my van, let me show you how it's set up. And it's not clean because that's just me. So take a look in here, you see that is a bench or a shelf right now for gear bags, but it does slide out and sits on these racks or sits on these brackets so that then there's a bed. So when we go down there, we're gonna have that set up as a bed to hold more stuff. We'll have 3 bikes down here because I've got 2 guys chasing with me. And so we're all 3 of us gonna have a motorcycle. We got chairs over here, obviously toolbox full of stuff. And I was thinking about taking my old van, my old Econoline, because it's less conspicuous, doesn't have the stickers and shiny and whatever. But it also doesn't have my toolbox, it doesn't have near the room, doesn't have the setup for the bikes, all that stuff. So I decided to use Baja bound insurance and insure the living crap out of this thing. So if it gets stolen or anything in it, at least we get it replaced. Big thanks to Baja bound insurance for that, because they made it super easy simple, whatever. And you got to have Mexican insurance when you go into Mexico, regardless of how much you insure it for. So you got to do that. It's a legal situation. You got to show them all that information. Massive thank you to those guys. They actually are a big sponsor of the team that I'm racing on. So huge thank you to those guys. Obviously, we got our chemicals and stuff up here. It's where my wolf vests live, everything. So yeah, now I want to show you the coolest thing we did was actually an upgrade to the van. You know, tires are great and all that. Let me show you the actually only real upgrade we did, and I'm super excited about it. Boom! These two big, massive lights from Colite. I am so excited. And a huge thank you to Colite and to Rich Cologne, my mechanic that's working for me now, for helping me get it set up. These things are crazy bright. Make sure you stick around, subscribe to the channel, follow us down on our Baja adventure, because I will be showing you how truly bright those things are. They're nuts. Yeah, the mounting, it's not perfect. They're a little offset, whatever. That's because Richie and I did it with some tools at my house and his service truck, and we bent rods, and so they're not perfect, but they're pretty freaking good. They're plenty good. They aim where we want them to aim. But I want to say something about Colite and how easy this thing was to install. They're crazy. They come with all the wiring harness. I'm going to show you underneath the hood what it looks like. But literally, it's just plug and play to the battery. Let me open up the hood. These lights came with literally every piece of the wiring harness, from the switch to the plugs to everything. So they just plug in behind here, and they came with these brackets. We had to make the bottom brackets, but they came with these brackets. Wires go back. They seriously just come up right here. I took a ground to the motor. I took positive to this. This is a positive lead for like jumping the bike or jumping the van. Then they come with lots of extra wiring. We zip tied that up all out of the way. And then we've got, you can see, a harness back there that goes through. And just bam, like that. And little light comes on until it's on. It is directly to the battery, so theoretically you could leave them on, but I don't think you will, because you'll see that it's on. They're super crazy bright. Other than bending the brackets, that probably only took seriously like 15 minutes. From like to run those wires from the lights in there, it was like 15 minutes. Now if your battery is in a weird place or you got to move stuff or whatever, it's going to take you longer, but it's so fast. And I'll put a link in the description for those guys. It's CO Light. It's LED Colite. I think is how you pronounce it. It's LED CO Light. I'll put it in the description. Huge thank you. They did give me those lights. Those were free. Thank you very much to them. But I am really impressed. And make sure you subscribe and see how they hold up to being in Baja. I think they're going to do really, really well, because they've been awesome so far. Yeah, guys, and that's pretty much it. You know, van is now ready. It's got the important stuff. Like I said, all firearms and firearm-related things are out of the van. Brand new tires. I can't stress enough how important it is to get new tires on your vehicle when you go down there. There's Leandra. And then more light, because when you're chasing, I won't be chasing, I'll be riding, but when my guys are chasing through the middle of the night, literally the middle of the night in Mexico, you cannot have enough light, even on the pavement. There's horses and cows and donkeys and people and trucks and things, everything out there in the desert. So it's really important to have more light. Very, very thankful to have that on the bike, because these lights on this van are kind of and so now I'll be able to see into the future with this stuff. So anyway, a short video. I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. We will see you on the next one.